He had served in security for many years and thought he had seen it all. Protecting politicians, diplomats, even celebrities felt normal after a while. But nothing could have prepared him for the assignment he received one quiet morning. A sealed envelope arrived at his office with a simple note: "Report immediately for a special protection mission." There were no details, no hints about who or what he would protect. He expected it to be some high-profile human official. He was wrong. When he arrived at the secure underground facility, the first thing he noticed was the strange quiet. Everything was high-tech and polished, but there was a tension in the air that made him alert. Then he saw her. She was sitting in the middle of the room, calm, almost regal. Her eyes were not quite human, and yet she seemed gentle. She looked at him like she was trying to understand him, and he did the same. He felt a shiver run down his spine. This was not a human assignment. He quickly learned the truth. She was not from any country on Earth. She was part of an alien delegation living secretly under protection. Humanity had known about them for years, but the news was hidden to prevent panic. His mission was clear: protect her at all costs. But he realized that this was going to be different from any job he had ever done. It was not just about danger from outside. It was about understanding someone from a completely different world. As he watched her move gracefully through the facility, he wondered how he could ever do his job properly. He didn't know it yet, but the real challenge would not come from threats or alarms. It would come from the bond that was slowly beginning to form between them, a connection neither of them could yet explain at first. Their relationship was strictly professional. He watched her carefully, making sure she was safe, while she observed everything with quiet curiosity. She was polite but distant, and he kept his distance too. They barely spoke, and the silence sometimes felt heavy. He noticed small things about her, the way her eyes followed patterns in the room, the subtle gestures that made her seem both human and something entirely different. One night, there was a minor security scare in the facility. Alarms rang, lights flickered, and he had to act fast to make sure she was safe. After the commotion, she appeared in the hallway, calm but visibly shaken. She didn't go back to her private quarters like she usually did. Instead, she walked slowly to his station and sat nearby. She didn't explain why, and he didn't ask. Something in her presence made him feel responsible in a new way, deeper than just duty. That night, she fell asleep near him, not touching him, just close enough to feel safe. He stayed awake, watching over her, realizing that this was different from any assignment he had ever had. Trust was being built, not through words or protocols, but by silent presence and shared experiences. Over the next few weeks, this became routine. She often joined him during late shifts, asking quiet questions about life on Earth. He answered carefully, explaining things simply, knowing she was learning, but also trusting him. He began to understand that her vulnerability was real, and that protecting her meant more than stopping threats. It meant understanding, patience, and care. The bond between them grew slowly, without rules, without labels. And he knew that this trust was something rare and powerful, something that could change everything for both of them. As the weeks passed, their connection grew in ways he hadn't expected. She started joining him during late-night shifts more often, sitting quietly beside him as he monitored the facility. Sometimes she asked small questions about the world outside, about rain, music, or human habits. He answered patiently, explaining things simply, realizing that teaching her about Earth was becoming part of his duty. One night, she decided to sleep beside him again. She said it was how her species felt safest, resting near someone they trusted completely. At first, he hesitated, knowing rules strictly forbade such closeness. He reminded himself it was for her protection, not personal feelings. But watching her relaxed and peaceful, he understood that this trust was mutual and essential for her well-being. He started noticing more subtle signs of her, curiosity about him. She watched how he moved, how he reacted to small noises, even how he brewed his late-night coffee. It was as if she wanted to understand not just the world, but him. And slowly he felt himself opening up in ways he hadn't before. His life had been built on routines, rules, and distance. Now he found himself adjusting, learning to be patient, gentle, attentive, without expecting anything in return. Their nights together became a silent ritual. It was never forced or uncomfortable. She respected his space, and he respected hers, yet they were always aware of each other. This quiet companionship created a bond stronger than any protocol. He realized that protecting her was not only about guarding her from outside dangers, but also about being present, earning her trust, and understanding her in ways no one else could. By the end of the month, he felt a deep sense of responsibility and connection. Their relationship was no longer just professional. It was built on trust, understanding, and quiet loyalty, something rare and unspoken, but undeniably strong. The quiet routine didn't last forever. One evening, security intelligence warned of a potential threat from a human group planning to expose the alien presence. Suddenly, the mission felt real in a way it hadn't before. The facility went on high alert, and he stayed close to her, constantly scanning for danger. During a sudden breach, alarms blared, and the facility erupted in chaos. People were rushing, shouting, and he moved instinctively to shield her. She clung to him, trusting him completely. For the first time, he realized that this trust was not just about comfort or companionship. It could mean life or death. He put himself between her and the threat without hesitation, relying on every skill he had learned in years of training. After the danger passed, the officials questioned him. Some said that allowing her to grow close to him had broken protocol and could compromise safety. He didn't argue. He only knew one thing: he would never let anything happen to her. She too made it clear she didn't want to be separated. She expressed it in her own way, simple but firm. In her culture, choosing to rest near someone meant permanent trust, and now he understood its significance. From that moment on, their bond became deeper. He knew the dangers were real, but so was the trust between them. He learned that protecting her wasn't only about guarding against outside threats. It was about understanding her needs, being present, and accepting the connection they had formed. The mission had changed. What started as duty had become something more personal, something stronger. They relied on each other not just for safety, but for companionship. In the middle of chaos and uncertainty, he discovered the quiet strength of their loyalty and trust. A force more powerful than any alarm or security breach. The threat had passed, but the mission was far from over. Authorities suggested replacing him, claiming that the growing closeness between him and the alien princess could create problems. She refused immediately. She spoke in her own quiet way, making it clear that she trusted him and wanted him to remain by her side. In her culture, trust and loyalty were everything. And she had chosen him. He realized then that their bond was no longer just about duty. It had become something deeper, built on respect, understanding, and quiet companionship. He had spent years protecting people, but this was different. She depended on him not just for safety, but for guidance, comfort, and trust. And he, in turn, felt a sense of responsibility he had never felt before. They continued their nights together, side by side, sharing silence and occasional words. The world outside could be chaotic and dangerous, but in those quiet hours they found a small pocket of safety. The bond between them grew stronger each day, not because of rules or orders, but because of mutual care and understanding. In the end, it wasn't about being a protector or a princess. It was about two beings from different worlds learning to trust and rely on each other. They had found loyalty, friendship, comfort in a place where few could understand. He had started the mission expecting a job, duty, a simple assignment. But he discovered something unexpected: the power of trust and connection. She, the alien princess, had chosen him, and he chose to stand by her. Together, they faced whatever came next, not just as protector in charge, but as companions bound by mutual respect and unspoken understanding. Their story became a quiet testament to loyalty, trust, and the strength found in human connection, even across worlds.